Okay, today we're going to focus on the channel view section of the multi-touch screen. And so you notice as we select the channel button, we are tabbing through the tabs at the top of the screen. And in this tutorial, we're going to focus on the dynamics section. We'll cover how to make adjustments and things in this window, and then we'll move over to the fader unit and show you how to do the same thing over there. We've split these tabs up into different tutorials so that we can cover as much as we need to. So there's two ways you can get to the dynamic tab. You can scroll through, as I mentioned, or if you had another window open and you needed to get to that dynamic section, you can simply click the dynamic button and it will open up that same window. And it's based on whatever channel is selected in your project. So currently you can see in the top of this window I have the bass channel selected. Now the top left of the window, we have a Nuage button. If you click on that, it opens up your selected channel view, which shows all of your channels, all of your parameters for that selected channel in the Nuage program. Those of you that are familiar with Nuage or Cubase are already familiar with that window, so I won't spend any time on that. The rest of this window, you'll see I have 5 different effects or processing capabilities that I can insert on that channel. This is in addition to the 8 insert slots we have. This is built right into the mix console in Nuage. So if I needed to insert a gate on my bass channel, for example, you simply click on that and it opens up the parameters. And then I have control over the various parameters using my encoders here. So a very quick and easy way to insert a gate if you need to and you're not using up any of your effects slots or my insert slots. We also have a compressor. If I click on that, I can open up the compressor parameters. And again, your encoders will follow whichever effect is highlighted. So currently we have the compressor highlighted. And again, I have the encoders that will follow. Now, if I have the option to, if I click on this encoder for compressor type, I can select between a standard compressor, a tube compressor, or a vintage compressor. And so I have those abilities and options. And then again, the encoders will control your parameters. I also have an envelope shaper. I have a tape saturation, and I have a brick wall limiter. You can use all of those, or you can bypass them or turn them off simply by clicking on them. And then whichever one is selected, I also have a preset parameter button at the top of that page, and you can scroll through and select different presets. You use the arrows to scroll through, and then it will give you a good starting point if you wanted to use a preset. Also at the right of the screen, I also have my meter and my level control for the, if I didn't have a fader unit, this will adjust my fader level. And if you do have a fader unit, you can tell I'm moving the fader right there with that. Okay, we'll move over to the fader unit now and discuss how to do the same thing. Okay, now we've moved over to the fader unit. We're going to show you how to adjust the dynamics section as well on using the fader unit controls. And again, this is in addition to the 8 insert slots that I currently have on each channel. So we'll go ahead and select the dynamic button. And we've got the guitar channel selected. You can see that on the screen here. And then we'll also use the buttons under the section control labeled 1 through 5 here to be able to jump between the various parameters. Now I want to make a side note here and show you that you can also reorder any of these effects. So let's say I have my EQ position, for example. I can move that to be after my tape saturation or at the very bottom of the chain if I wanted to, and so I can use all of these effects and then have my EQ position after those if I wanted to do that. And I also have the ability to move these parameters around. Let's say I wanted my compressor, let's say I wanted my noise gate after my compressor for some reason. I can readjust that order by simply clicking and dragging and then dropping. And so now my compressor comes first and then my noise gate. I'm going to go ahead and move that back, but it's that simple, so it's very configurable. Now you'll notice whichever button I have selected will adjust those parameters. So I've got number 1 selected, that's my noise gate, and then these parameter controls are able to be adjusted with my encoders. I can turn that gate on or off. One other thing to note here, I can turn it on or off, or I can bypass it. If I notice what I'm doing to the threshold here, if I bypass it, it keeps the threshold level where it is. If I turn it off, it in essence unassigns it, and then next time I turn it on, it defaults back to its original setting. And so if you've made adjustments and you want to make comparisons, make sure you bypass it to be able to listen to the differences. Okay, if I wanted to go to my compressor, let's say I wanted to insert a compressor on that channel, I select number 2 here, and now this becomes my compressor. I have to turn it on, and now you can see that I have a tube compressor selected. I can adjust my levels here. Now I'm somewhat limited in this view. I don't have all of the parameter control on the encoders, and so one thing you can do is select your edit button. It opens up your selected channel view, and now you can see I have all 5 slots here, and they correspond with each of the encoders here. Now you notice these sections are grayed out. That means they are not turned on yet. So let's say I wanted to turn on my envelope shaper. I can turn on the button there. It assigns it, and now I have my parameter control. Whoops, they're down here with each of the encoders. And I wanted to show you one thing on the compressor, for example. You have this button which allows you to select your various types of compression as well. And so the quick, easy ways to make those adjustments, you have full parameter control here now using this view. Hit the E button, it takes you back out to this view as well. Hope that helps you. Again, I love Nuage. It's very intuitive and easy to learn how to use, and very hands-on. Thanks for watching. If you have any ideas or questions that you'd like us to cover in these tutorials, please email me, Brad@pulsesound.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again.